Welcome everyone to Live Stream Reviews. My name is Christian Karasevich, the content marketing manager at StreamYard, and I'm joined by Leticia Campbell, my co-host here for Live Stream Reviews. Leticia, great having you join us.
Yes, I'm so happy to be here.
We've got a great show for everybody. For those of you, if you're new here, by the way, just a couple of quick notes. For starters, this is a show where we want to hear from you. So what we're going to do is we're going to share the link out to this broadcast, and you're going to be able to join us live on screen. We want you to join us live on screen, actually. So we want you to join live on screen, and we want to hear who you are, what your live stream is about, and then tell us, if you have a question or a challenge, let us know what that is, because our goal is to help you. So we're going to be on, by the way, and I want to encourage you to go ahead and join. We're going to be on today for about an hour and a half, actually. I've been, obviously we want to make sure we value your time. So an hour and a half, we want to bring you on, help you. So I'm going to have Leticia, if you can go and share out that invite link, if you have that handy, that would be awesome.
I sure will.
What I want to do first, though, is I want to ask you all a question. And that question is this. If you are using our giveaway tool, the StreamYard giveaway tool, by the way, which is accessible at StreamYard.com/giveaway, you can go and you can use this giveaway tool. But what I want to know from you is, are you running giveaways? That's the first thing. So if you're running a giveaway, put yes in the comments so that we can, learn more about who all is using this. And then I also want to know, if you're running a giveaway, what are you giving away during your contest that you're running? And then if you're not using the giveaway tool, let us know why not. Is it, I need some ideas about what to give away? It doesn't fit my audience and so forth. I want to hear from you all. And by the way, Jamie, Jamie here says, I'm brave enough to come live with you guys, but I've been using StreamYard for over a year for his vape reviews. Jamie, you're more than welcome to come on. I mean, it's a judgment-free zone. So do us a favor, please come on when you get a chance. We want to hear from you here. If you got a challenge, because again, it's also about, like, if you're somebody who, if you struggle with, like, hey, you know what, I'm not using you as an example, but like, if you struggle with getting in front of people, for example, or talking to an audience, like, this is practice. So nothing wrong there. Like, our goal is to help you.
So true.
So, but yeah. So thanks for sharing that out, Leticia.
Yes. This is a great platform to come. Like Christian said, this is an absolutely no judgment-free zone. These conversations that Christian and I have is only meant to get you guys to create the best possible, most professional shows wherever you're at right now. So yeah.
Definitely, yeah. So do us a favor, just click that link and join us. By the way, for those of you who are watching, again, I mean, if you like this video, if you find usefulness in what we're doing, do us a favor, hit that like button and that notification bell as well, so that you can, get notified about future episodes and obviously our future videos, but also, you can let your, so you'll know what we're doing. So we want to make sure you don't miss the show. So feel free to come on in. Let's see. I'm just going to look here real quick if there's anyone doing, let's see. So Garam, so you're saying, hey, nobody comes to your live stream anymore these days. So if you want to come on and join us, let's talk through that. Let's talk through, are you doing things like to promote your live streams? What, if you are, what are you doing? Maybe we can, maybe we have some ideas, maybe, NLTW, Adam's Exploits, who are all tuning in. Maybe Mary here as well has some ideas to help you. So do us a favor, jump on with us.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate, but live streaming is always the end result, right? It's everything we do before we hit that go live button that draws people to your conversation. So first thing is, are you promoting your live? And also, is your content speaks to the particular audience that you're trying to reach? And then from there, you're good for those two first steps, and after that, it just comes smoothly. Yeah.
Fantastic. So, Leticia, by the way, feel free to check the chat as well, like our private chat as well, so we can make sure we got that moving. So, awesome, fantastic. So, while we're waiting for people to join us, by the way, and this is all about you. So we do this every week, and we invite you to come on. So we want you to come on and discuss with us. It's not about us. It's all about you all. So let me actually read through a couple of comments here. So NLTMW, in terms of the giveaway, yeah, he's using stickers. So for example, if you're running giveaway, stickers are a great thing to give away. So Jamie here says that they're doing they're giving away juice and mods, and that's another thing. If you have your own physical product, yeah, that's a good thing you can give away, as long as it ties in. In terms of accessing the tool, just go to StreamYard.com/giveaway and log into your StreamYard account, obviously, and you'll be able to access the giveaway tool. Fantastic. Let's see. What else we got going on? So let's see. We've got another person using the giveaway tool. Jim Lawyer, Ohio Ram show in Tip City, Ohio. They use it every week, and they give away signed books, 1-year membership, to their website. So I love these ideas, by the way. So Jim, can you do me a favor? Can you actually shoot me an email? Just go to send it to marketing@streamyard.com, marketing@streamyard.com. Send me a link to your Facebook page, and then if you happen to have a video, I want to check that out as well. Just kind of see what kinds of stuff you're giving away, because I love hearing about what everybody's doing with StreamYard. Jamie, okay, so Jamie, it's StreamYard.com/giveaway to access the tool.
Right. Christian, can you hear me now?
That sounds much better, actually. Yes.
Okay, I just changed my settings. Sorry about that.
Oh, no worries. By the way, we're always diagnosing on the fly. So for example, we're hearing a little bit of echo. Leticia and I were taking care of that backstage, getting that all straightened out for you all. So
right. And today I'm using my lapel mic, not my regular, standing mic. So I'm testing that out as well. So y'all let me know how my sound sounds. If y'all see a difference. Most of you guys are on the show all the time. So Mario said that I did a hoodie giveaway yesterday with the giveaway tool. Awesome. That's great.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
Let me see.
Yes. I would love for you guys to come on and also let us know about that. Like for me personally, I do giveaways, but more on the branding aspect of it. Yeah. Like I would give away something like a t-shirt that has my LLC on it, or my program on it, or when I'm doing an event, like I do a success tour event. So I would give away those t-shirts for that. So really more of like free advertisement. So people may look at, well, you're paying for the t-shirt and you're giving it away, but really that person's going to be wearing the t-shirt. Yep. They're going to be
free promotion.
So that's what I do. But I do see a lot of people do all different types of giveaways. They give away cash, they give away tickets, they give away Amazon gift cards, all these things. But I think, Christian and I really want to touch on the overall goal of your giveaway. Like you got to think of the goal, you know, because what happens is if you're giving away free merch, not free merch, but free merchandise, cash, all trips and all these different things, people are only going to show up for the giveaway. So there's a thin line when it comes to that, where you're like, wait, all these people are just showing up for the giveaway, they're not really showing up for the content or showing up for the offer. So you got to have that goal in mind. Why am I giving this stuff away? When this person gets this item sent to their home, what do I want them to do with it? I want them to take a picture of it and tag me on social media, and like doing that where you're like expanding your brand or your business or whatever it is you're doing in front of a new audience, or even your non-for-profit. I mean, if y'all doing non-for-profits out there, y'all got to have some merch, okay, for your non-for-profit, t-shirts, mugs, pillows, all these different things to get the word out there, but anybody can do a giveaway. Okay.
Just a couple of quick points here, by the way, Leticia. So we've got, so I got a comment here from a Facebook user. By the way, if you're in the Facebook group and you're you're coming on, you're watching here, if we want to see who you are. So if you can go to StreamYard.com/Facebook, it's actually going to then give you the ability to authenticate with Facebook, so we can see your profile and your name. Otherwise, it shows up as just Facebook user, so I can't actually address who you are. So this person says, not related to your question, but I watched your show a few weeks ago and asked about incorporating a run of show or show format within the StreamYard application, being able to use it to quickly play videos or graphics. So I also, by the way, am taking notes here as we're talking. So if you happen to have a feature request, actually, sorry, wrong one, you can put in hashtag feature in your comment, and I'm actually taking it down. So I'll make a note right now, actually, for that one. Leticia, are there any other questions you're seeing in the comments we should bring up?
Yes, I do see Paul on. Paul, if you could just check the private chat so we can get your question on. So Jamie said that our goal is to promote the vape of the company that supports that live by giving us the products for free. Okay. Okay.
Good.
Okay, it says some people who give things away will have a trivia, and you have to watch the whole video in order to answer the trivia question. I like that. I like that, Cindy. That's a really good idea. Yes. If money is tight, you can give away a free short consultation. Absolutely. That's a perfect idea. NLT MW. That is perfect. Anybody can start where you're at right now and then pivot later when you are creating revenue. That's a great idea too.
Because remember, what you decide to give away doesn't have to be a physical merch. Like you don't have to give away t-shirts, for example. Like I print t-shirts myself, and like I know how much t-shirt costs, and so I'm not going to necessarily like make up t-shirts and be like, okay, hey, let me just give these away for free. Like there is the long-term value of getting, like, for example, if you're like giving away t-shirts that you're getting printed, there is the long-term value, as Leticia mentioned, that somebody wears it and then it promotes your product. But you also have to look at like how much it's going to cost you up front. T-shirts, for example, up front, if you're buying like 10 t-shirts, for example, it might cost you $25 to $30 something a t-shirt. Versus the more volume you do, the lower the cost of that shirt's going to be. So if, for example, you don't have access to that sort of thing, consider giving away, for example, short consultations. Consider giving away a worksheet, for example, that you've created for your business, a course, something that actually really doesn't have the value that you put on it. Like people that sell a course for $500, for example, it's not a $500 course for the most part. It's it's not going to cost that much for you to give that away versus, I'm actually having to outlay money for a physical item.
Right. And you don't have to give away the whole course. If you have like a 10 module course, give away the first module. And that could be the lead in or the upsell into the other modules. So Neil's World mentioned, does giveaways hurt channels in the long term? I mean, I know, Christian, you're going to say your advice on that, but I don't feel they do. It just depends on your strategy for it. It depends on what the goal is. If you're giving away branded merch that's branded to your business or what have you. But just like Cindy mentioned, making a trivia or doing something like that will help. You got to be creative with it. I don't necessarily feel that it will hurt your channel. It just depends on what you're giving away. I've seen a lot of dark side to giveaways in the past few years where people are literally giving away their inventory, giving away like expensive stuff, and then people literally show up to their shows just to get a free something for free. And the point is that you don't want to, it's not about free, it's about value and impact. So whatever you're giving away, is it going to impact what you're doing and impact the value of your show? But that is a great question, Neil. I'm glad you asked that, because some people have had a horrible experience doing giveaways. And even though StreamYard has now offered the giveaway tool, which is amazing tool, by the way, people are scared to use it. They're scared to use it. Right. Yes.
I mean, and the thing is, like, going back to this, and I don't want to touch too much on giveaways, because remember, we want to bring you on. So like, if you have questions, seriously, we want you to come on. But, in terms of giving away something, for example, I'll go back to the day of like iPads. When iPads and things like that came out, they were a very pricey item, and people were joining giveaways just to get a free iPad, for example. And that really honestly doesn't work. If your business is like, for example, if you're doing like electronic and gadget reviews and somebody sent you the iPad for free to give away, of course, that makes a lot of sense. However, if, for example, you're in marketing, or, you're a church, for example, I'm just looking at some of the examples here of people, if you're doing gaming, for example, or if you're SK's Crappy Catch and Adventures, giving away an iPad is not going to be the right thing necessarily. You're going to want to focus on something that is related to your business.
Right.
because everybody's going to come in there and they're going to enter giveaway. They're going to get the item for free. And then you're thinking, oh, they're going to stick around and come back and watch and check out my content. And the answer is nope, they're not going to come back. They got what they wanted. So just keep that in mind.
I've seen people give away full on like computers with the printer. I'm like, oh my God. And they end up regretting it in the long term. But yeah, guys, definitely join us on panel. And even if you have a question that is not giveaway related, we would love to answer it, because eventually it will lead to some type of giveaway that you're going to do in the near future once you get your content down. So that is some people give away digital products like ebooks, or I've seen people give away physical books that they've made for free, but the person had to pay for the shipping. So that way they were not out of pocket or anything. You just got to be very, very creative and just extremely goal oriented. Time limit that goes. Okay, someone asked if we could explain how the giveaway tool works. Yes.
So yeah, sure. Actually, so while we're waiting for people to come on, by the way, we want you to come on. I'm serious.
Yeah.
Like, we want you to come on and join us.
Come on.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen. I'll show you guys what the giveaway tool looks like. Actually, let me share the right one.
And I'm just going to share the link again, the shareable link. Sorry.
This is your chance to come on and ask us, pretty much whatever live streaming questions you have. It could be equipment related. It can be, about, like, preferably, it could be about your show. Like, how do I get more people on my live streams? What are some ways that I can promote my show? How do I repurpose my live streams? Anything you can think of. Let me see. So let me get the giveaway tool up.
Yes.
Okay. So
well,
this is
like
the giveaway
guys.
tool. By the way, this is available at StreamYard.com/giveaway. And the way this works is, for starters, if you do want to watch a tutorial about this, there is a tutorial, an on-screen tutorial that you can watch that Gage recorded. Gage, the co-founder of StreamYard, along with Dan. So basically the way it works is you log into your StreamYard account, you go to StreamYard.com/giveaway, and then there's a broadcast dropdown. As you can see, this is the existing broadcast that we're in. And then all I have to do is, for example, I select the broadcast and then I enter my text. Now your text, for example, for this show, we're going to use #LoveStreamYard. However, it could just be a word. It could be the word StreamYard. It could be pretty much anything you want to put in there as text. And then once you've selected the broadcast and select your text, you're going to hit start collecting responses or comments. And then what's going to happen is it's literally going to look across all of your social media platforms that you're connected to. So, for example, we're connected right now to the Facebook group, the Facebook page, the YouTube channel, the Periscope channel. It's going to show across all those channels, and you're going to be able to then have people enter that drawing, because all they have to do is enter the hashtag. So that's pretty much how it works. And then it's actually going to pick a winner. So if you stick around, by the way, till the end of the show, we are going to do a giveaway. We are going to give away a mug, I think, right today, Leticia?
That's right. We're going to give away a cool coffee mug. I wish I had it here on me, but somebody's using it right now. But to show you guys how it looks. But yeah, we're going to be giving away a coffee mug for you guys. So all you got to do is type in #LoveStreamYard to get your own. Even if you already have one, get another one. You can never have enough coffee mugs. Never, never, ever, ever, ever. Yes.
And I love these comments, by the way. I'm looking at Coffee Talk and Tech here as a comment. He says, that's why I give away autograph pictures. No one wants one. But again, I mean, you never know, actually. You really never know. So
you never know.
As your star starts to grow, people may want that. So
I know. I'll never forget it, Christian. One day I was doing a mastermind, and I was coming back home to New York. And this lady, she works in the airport. She's like, are you Leticia Campbell? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, oh my God, I watch your stuff all the time. I'm like, oh my God. I got so shocked. Like, I don't even remember her name. Like, I was silly shocked that somebody we do this all the time, guys, right? Those of y'all in the comments, like, y'all just go live and you're just not thinking like you're this person that people would literally shout in the middle of a crowd, like, is that you? And so I got kind of like, I'm from New York, and we're like, somebody approaches like that. We're like, what's going on? It's like, it felt so great to experience that. So guys, listen, you never know who's watching, who you're impacting, who you're influencing. It's just amazing experience.
Definitely.
Yes.
By the way, I'm going to bring up this comment. So SK's Crappy Cats and Adventures was saying, hey, I used the giveaway tool. He said it didn't pull up the viewers entered. So here's the thing. It should absolutely pull those up. The only way that it would not pull the people up. So for example, if they've not gone to StreamYard.com/Facebook and they're just a Facebook user, they will not get pulled in. Because again, it doesn't know what the person looks like. It doesn't know their name. So it's not going to, they have to go to StreamYard.com/Facebook and authenticate in order to have their giveaway entry counted. Also, in terms of the keyword, make sure there's no extra spaces. There could always be an extra space at the end. It definitely pulls in all of the viewers. I'll make a note, but we've had people ask that before, and a lot of times it turns out to be the word that they put in, for example, or maybe there was a space or something that was different. But it should pull everything in. They've been using this tool for quite a while, actually, and then we finally released it to everybody. But I'll make a note to Dan and see if we can actually SK's Crappy Catch and Adventure. If you want to do me a favor and just email me marketing@streamyard.com, just reference the giveaway tool. Just tell me what email you use for your account in the email you send me, and I will get that looked into. Okay. So Broken Link Podcast has a question. By the way, Broken Link Podcast, I want to, can you do us a favor? Can you join us on screen? We'd love to actually answer this question. It's a really good one. How to get more viewers.
Yeah. I just added the guest link here.
Awesome. Fantastic. So hopefully they'll go and join. Let's see. Oh yeah, actually, by the way, NLTMW has another good question. He says for the giveaway tool, he says you can leave it blank. Anyone, so when putting in the keyword that it's going to select, you can leave it blank, and then it should pick pretty much anyone who's entered. Actually, that's pretty cool. So nice job. Kim Hostetler's got a question. She's asking, is not related to giveaways, but can you use two cameras with StreamYard? Is there any way to access past live shows instead of having to get from the Facebook or YouTube? Okay, so two-part question. The first answer, can you use two cameras with StreamYard? You can. And actually, while we're doing this, I'm going to set up. Okay, we got some people joining us. Fantastic.
Yes, and guys, those of you who are joining, you have to have a question. Please have your question. Please have your cameras on. That's very important. And also look at the private chat. Thank you.
Okay, so to answer your question, Kim, so you can use two cameras with StreamYard. Preferably, what we'd probably recommend is to use so for example, you can set up a mobile device. And so you can set this up as you can come on, for example, on desktop, and then you can take the invite code, send it to your phone. And then when you access it via the browser, this camera will be a second camera that you can use during your broadcast. So one thing you want to keep in mind, by the way, if you're going to use your mobile phone, is to plug in a pair of old headphones, preferably without a microphone, into your phone, because you can't just do this. You can't just hit this volume button. You can't just do that and turn the volume all the way down. It does not mute the mic if you don't have headphones plugged in. So just keep that in mind. So you have to plug in old headphones, and then that will trick the phone into muting the mic. That's an iOS and Android thing. They both do the same thing. But that's going to be the first part of your question. And the second one is, how do I access past shows? So let me go ahead and pull up another StreamYard dashboard here, actually. And so let me just pull that up. Okay, so answering Kim's other question, she's asking, how do I do this? So for example, I'm going to go into a past broadcast. Sorry, let's say it's a, if you go into StreamYard, for example, under past broadcast, and I go, for example, into this one, we could go to the three dots, and there's an option here that says download recording here at the bottom. And it's going to give me the option to download the video, the audio, or if I have the pro account and I have individual audio enabled, I can download my broadcast. Now, remember, you have to be on the paid plan to be able to do the downloads. So if you're using the free one, it's not going to work. And then there's also this other little thing here. You have 15 days to download your recordings. So if you've not downloaded them, then it's past 15 days, you can't get them from your StreamYard dashboard. You would have to go to your YouTube channel or your Facebook channel and do your downloads. One thing to keep in mind, by the way, is if you go to Facebook and try to download from Facebook, Facebook's going to do all sorts of processing on your videos, and you're not going to get the best quality. You're going to get a lower quality video. You can go to YouTube, log into YouTube Studio, and there's an option for all of your videos. If you've streamed to YouTube, you can download them. So keep that in mind, but hope that answers your question. If it doesn't, just let us know again. Okay, cool. We got a couple people backstage. Leticia, are we good to go with bringing?
We're good to go. We have Derek Henshaw. He's first up, so I'm going to bring him on the panel. Hey, Derek, how are you?
All right, how you doing?
Very cool. Look at this soundproofing, by the way, or right? Soundproofing.
Yeah,
go in the car.
I'm in the car with the infant, so I'm trying.
No worries.
Okay.
Thanks for joining. Yeah, you're doing a great job. Thanks a lot for joining us. So, what question can we answer for you?
Yes. I've gone through Facebook ads. I paid for Facebook ads. Linked my StreamYard with my Facebook page for specifically both of my podcasts, Never Truth and Broken Link, and I'm still not gaining many. The most views I've had is like 11, and I have over 50 likes and people on the page. Like,
how long you been doing the show?
Since November of last year.
And who are you trying to capture? Like, who are you talking to?
I'm talking to people who is political, entertainment, music, a multitude of things that are like daily topics, things that go on throughout the week, and then we talk about it on the podcast. Yeah.
So you're sharing politics, you're sharing things about music, like basically a whole. So I think that's very broad when you're first getting started. I would definitely suggest that you narrow it down a little bit. So if you're going to talk about politics, then let it just be about politics. If you're going to talk about what's happening currently in the music industry, then just talk about that. I think maybe it's just too broad for people, because if you're going to do a segment about politics, and that's not something that people in the music or audience that love to know stuff about music care about, they're not going to tune in and watch. So you're going to get those people that are just going to hop around from one show to the next or whatever show they're interested in, but they're not going to be loyal and zeroed in every single week. So I would definitely suggest, before you spend another coin on ads, like you shouldn't even be like spending anything on ads right now, to be honest. But I would definitely first focus on content. How often are you showing up, and the specific person that you're trying to attract and speak to. Because what do you want to do beyond this? Like, did you just want to be a commentary channel, or you want to take this to like building a community as well? Yes. Like, where you want to take this?
Right. Yeah, I would love to build a community and a core diehard following fan base. Yes, I would.
Okay.
But also, I get into it because the podcast is with my dad, and we go back and forth. I tell him that we should wait and give people time to get onto the live stream.
And he just goes.
And he feels like it's like a channel on the TV where, like, soon as it's that time, we go, and we have 0 viewers. So is it what is a good time frame to wait and give people time to come in? Would you say?
Well, I would say maybe how Christian did this show where he had himself on first and he introduced the show. He said this is the topic, and then brought me on. You could probably do the same thing for your dad, since he's ready to go right away, which is great. But you're like, wait, let's just wait a second. Just bring him on maybe like in 30 seconds, and you'll pop him on the screen and y'all can start talking. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much.
And
You're welcome.
I want to throw in just a couple pieces of advice actually here. So the first one is, let's see. So I'll start with the Facebook ads. I would not be advertising. I wouldn't be running Facebook ads at the moment. Okay. I think part of that, like, you could probably, I don't know how much you're spending at a time on that, but I think you could probably get more out of it by maybe putting the dollars towards tools to maybe repurpose your product, things like that. So like helping you repurpose some of your video content, for example, across some of your social media channels, versus just running the Facebook ads. Because you also are going to have a really good thumbnail. It's going to have to be really good content to get people to actually like want to tune in. And I haven't seen what the thumbnails or things like that look like. Actually, if you want me to bring them up, I'm happy to.
Yes.
What's the channel? What do I find on YouTube?
On my channel,
Yes.
Broken Link, BROKEN LINQ.
Okay, let me see. And you got like 89 subscribers, 21 videos. Is that right? About right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Very cool. Let me just pull this up. Okay, so while you're tending to that, let me just pull. So here's his channel. Okay, so I got a couple of things here. I think I'd say. So for starters, I think you need a thumbnail on every one of these videos.
Okay.
So there's no thumbnail whatsoever here, which is not bad, but like I like the color and whatnot, but I think there needs to be some color. Like there needs to be a theme basically to this. And I don't know if you happen to have checked out our video yesterday. We just did we actually just did a tutorial yesterday on how to actually make thumbnails for your live streams.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I tried to watch some of it when I was at work. I tried to sneak it in and watch some.
Whenever you get time, you should check it out. You know, I'd also consider on something like this, if you're like, hey, you know what, I'm not a designer, I don't have the time to necessarily watch or whatnot. If your budget allows it, this is where I'd almost like take your ad money you're spending. I'd actually almost say, hey, you know what, let me work with a designer and have them build me a set of thumbnails that I use.
Okay.
Because then that way you get, like, if you're not the designer and you don't have the time to view something, then I'd say that would actually be a good way for you to like take bigger steps, have them build a set of thumbnails for you to use on your videos. So that's the first thing. Second thing, in terms of the topic, I mean, you're doing an hour and change. You have, you know, you're actually getting some pretty good numbers. I mean, you're getting 55 views, 49, 132. I mean, those are actually pretty good numbers, I'd say. Now, I'm assuming that's is that off the replay?
Well, we just started using StreamYard for the past, I would say 6 episodes.
Okay.
So the older ones, those were the ones where I would record and I would edit it and then post it.
Okay. So so you're having people on, and what are you talking about exactly?
We start talking about, I start with the shout outs, where I give shout outs to people who I think have done, you know, good things throughout the week that pop up. Then we go to topic by topic, whether it's like I said, what's going on with politics. Like this past one, we talked about Black Wall Street for a little bit.
Okay.
Then we talked about the abortion ban of Texas, and we had a lot of women on at that time, so I brought that up so they could, you know, be, get them involved in the conversation as well. I love, you know, posting the questions on, you know, from the comments and stuff like that as well.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So a couple of things I'd say. These are little minor things. First thing is, and this isn't a major thing, but adding some tags about your video. So like being a little more descriptive.
Yes.
Like, for example, this title of this is musical guests who deal with positivity and knowledge. So we kind of have to like see, is that actually what somebody's going to search for?
Okay.
So first thing would be, okay, so if it's not, how do we phrase that title to actually fit what this episode is going to be about? That's the first thing. Second thing, your tags and your description, put in, you know, like for example, if there's like be a little more descriptive in that description. It doesn't need to be really long. It just needs to be succinct.
Okay.
You know, about what that episode is going to be about, and then throw some tags in there with the artist, for example, your name, Broken Link Podcast, for example, and so forth. And then the other question I have for you, what time are you going live?
Well, we started out at Saturday at around 1 o'clock Central Time. Mm-hmm. Then we changed it to 6:30 on Sunday Central Time. That's like, you know, people go to church, or, you know, they're getting ready. They're done with everything. Usually we thought that's the time when people are more so sitting down and resting and getting ready for their work on Monday.
Okay.
It's from 6:30, and then we try to end it no later than 8 o'clock. I mean, it was 6. Yeah, 8 o'clock Central Time.
Okay. So I would say this. I think another thing you need to look at. So you need to look at the data on your YouTube videos.
Okay.
So for starters, like you can go on right now and you can get an idea of when you've got 89 subscribers, but you can go onto YouTube and go into your analytics. They're in your studio and you can see when people, for example, are going live. So let's just use the example. Let's say you see like there's like a dark blue section. Actually, let me see if I can pull this up. So there's like a dark blue section of when people, basically it shows you roughly when people are tuning in. Okay. And so let's just say you go in and you see, okay, people are tuning in at like, let's say the dark blue means like there's a lot of people online. That's like YouTube activity. Let's say it's like 8 o'clock, right? You then may want to go live before that, basically before that peak. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes perfect sense.
So that'd be something to test out. And so like, and here's the thing, you're not going to want to test it out one time. You're going to try it out for like maybe a month and see if that actually resonates with your audience. But you have to do some of those other things at the same time of using the analytics to help guide you.
Gotcha.
And then again, I mean, here's another thing. Your show is an hour and change.
Yes.
Don't like, it doesn't have to be an hour and change. It could be 45 minutes, for example, you know, but you know, make sure like, for example, if you look at your analytics and you're probably going to see this, you're going to see like a peak and then you're going to see it's probably going to slowly fade or it may just drop right off. If it goes like that and drops right off, that tells me, okay, there's something they didn't like at that point. If you watch all your videos, they're going to be about the same. You're going to see a pattern. And so, you know, if you see this and then all of a sudden it's a slow fade or all of a sudden it drops, you know, 1 hour in, that means that, hey, maybe that last half an hour, I don't necessarily need to be on that long.
Okay.
So,
Gotcha.
And by the way, if you have any other questions, I mean, again, you're welcome to email me. I gave you the email, it's marketing@streamyard.com, and more than happy to like have more of a chat on this. I will also advise you, you have a YouTube channel. So next Saturday, we're going to have YouTube channel reviews in the place of live stream reviews. And so if you need some additional guidance, we have a great group of people, Daniel Batal and Dee Neman, who will review YouTube channels.
I'll be there.
Right.
I'll be there.
Yeah.
Love you guys. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. One more thing though, for your particular show, I see it being done on a Monday. I really do. Like, I feel like your show would be perfect because you can do the show on Monday and you could cut up the broadcast into like the best parts and then have that be like maybe shorts throughout the week. So, and as I mentioned before, you niching down. If you're like confused on if I'm supposed to niche down, what direction should I go in? Go back and check your videos and see which one that got the most views or the most engagement, and maybe that's what people want to listen to more of.
Okay.
And that's a great point, actually. Copy that model. So look at your videos, the ones that were getting triple digits, for example. Look at those and say, okay, did the title, the description, the tags, did I do anything different there? Did I go live at a different time? And then look at the actual analytics for that specific video, and you can see how long people tuned in, what kind of reactions and things like that you got as well. But that's going to be the key things. And then the other thing is, if you want to get your lives out there, you're going to also want to make sure you're focusing on the promotion aspect, but not just using ads. So for example, going into like joining up with other Facebook groups, for example, that support a similar cause, getting yourself out there. So going into groups and actually engaging with people so they get to know who you are and what you are known for, essentially. And so then that way, like, because some groups will have like a weekly post. Well, they'll say, hey, you know what? Go in our, Facebook group, and like on Mondays, they might say like, hey, post one link to something you want more subscribers on, or post a link to something you did last week. And this could be a way for you to help get the word out to bring in potentially more viewers.
Gotcha. Okay. So join, look for more Facebook pages that deal with
groups. Try groups.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All righty.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us, by the way. Really appreciate
it. Thank you.
All right. Have a good one.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, Leticia, let me answer a couple of these questions real quick.
Yes, let's do that. Yes, please. And guys, please be patient, guys. Like, literally being aggressive in the chat about your question. We're going to get to your questions. Trust. All right.
And, BK42, by the way, is also giving Derek a good point here. Once you build your community, they will join your show more often. Yes.
Right.
So you should be trying to cultivate a community. try and build a community. If that's a Facebook group, if it's a membership site on your own website, it could just be a Facebook group where it's just, for example, in his case, it's a musician. He may want to actually go and start a group where it's, hey, we're going to talk about the latest news from, let's just use like a specific genre of music. Let's say it's people who are interested in talking about rock music news, for example. And so then, he then is just heading up that group, and then he's kind of letting the people have the conversations, and then he could be posting and driving some of that conversation as well.
Right.
So, okay. Let's see. Where did that question go?
And yeah, guys, please feel free. We got like maybe a little bit. Just definitely come on panel with your question. I'm just gonna
okay, so let's just answer a couple of these technical
Sure.
questions, actually. Okay, so Kelly's asking, I noticed if more than 4 people, video quality becomes problematic. So Kelly, if you actually want to join us on screen, we'd love to actually address that. I have a feeling it's probably the internet. I have a feeling it's 2 things. I think it's either your internet or your video card on your laptop. So for example, if I'm using like a Google Chromebook and I want to power this really big display, the Chromebook, yeah, you can plug it in, but it can only support so much bandwidth. And so what could end up happening there is, for example, it's the same thing as you're adding more people to your broadcast. For example, if you happen to have a bad connection or things like that, or your system is really just overtaxed, we handle most of that, but it still relies a little bit on your computer. So it could very well be an internet issue. I think it's an internet issue.
Yeah.
But you're welcome to join us. We can chat more about your upload speeds and things like that.
It absolutely is. It's, a lot of times, if you're having a lot of videos, StreamYard now has the video file we can upload. A lot of times when you're switching from one video file, then you go back to the broadcast, then you go to another video file. That's a lot of work on your computer. And it's like most of us are now upgrading to like full-on PCs because like our computer cannot catch up or keep up with our show. So even if we do lower down to 720p or whatever, you still get the same result. So yeah.
Yeah, and you have to, that's another thing, like, and Leticia, I think you and I've talked about this before, but the brain of your live stream should start with the computer. Like you need to have like the main home base, like your computer should be, that's where if I were going to make any investment in equipment, that's the first place I'd start. I'd make sure my computer and my internet are, the best that I can get them within my budget. And then, for example, you can use a mic would be the next step, and then video is actually down the road. So, okay, who do you want to bring on next, Leticia?
Okay, we're going to bring on the fighter's voice. We're going to add him onto the screen. He's telling everybody in the background to be quiet. I love it. Yes. How you doing?
How you doing, Don?
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
I've been in journalism for 17 years.
Okay, so Don, do me a favor, just refresh and come back in. I think there's looks like you're on mobile. So refresh and come back in, and that would actually be, I think that'll fix your issue. Oh. Okay, so we'll bring him back in when he comes back in, hopefully.
Sorry about that. Up next is Coffee Talk.
Actually, I think he was having a bandwidth issue there.
Oh, here he comes. He's back.
Hold
He's
on.
back.
Okay, let's try it again. Okay.
I apologize. Yeah, I'm on mobile. I was watching you guys while I was sitting here doing paperwork. But I have a syndicated radio
So Don, let's do this. Let me see if I can do this. Okay, we'll wait for Don. Let's see if Don comes back in. Oh, here he comes back.
Very good.
There we go. Okay, I apologize. I should have used my laptop, but
Ooh.
Okay, Don, if you can, I think you said you have a laptop. If you can switch to your laptop, would love to have you on. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, same thing happened to me before.
So here's the thing. I do want to address that. So Don's using mobile device. Mobile devices, by the way, we always recommend when you're streaming to hardwire into your router. Big reason is because you're on a mobile device. These are they're fast, but there is the whole thing of the data connection is not a consistent connection. So it could be really good and then really bad and then really good and then really bad. And so that's what's leading to a lot of drops potentially. Mm-hmm. Also, if your internet speeds, your Wi-Fi, for example, may not be fast enough potentially. So again, we always recommend hardwiring in over Ethernet.
Okay. Yeah. And Dimeback said mobile can be fine. This all depends on your connection. That is so true. And this is why sometimes, especially when people are doing car chats and stuff where they're driving, which I don't recommend driving and streaming, but their sound goes in and out, in and out, in and out, because you're probably going through mountains, forests, all types of things. So it does affect it.
So let's do this. Let's bring on Coffee Talking Tech. Coffee Talking Tech. If you're good to go, give me a thumbs up. Cool. Very cool.
He was on the show before.
I want to see the setup, actually. I think I saw his setup last time.
Hey,
how you doing, Coffee Talking Tech?
How you doing, Christian? Hi, Leticia. So I've been streaming just recently. It's only been about 3 months or so. Okay. And I started a small community, and it's really kind of based off of the people that I help with setting up tech. Okay. And so that's engaging, but I actually got reviewed by Daniel Battelle, and and they were basically breaking down maybe you want to niche down to kind of helping new YouTubers or streamers, because that's I'm getting a vibe like that. And so they're if you're not sure if you're going to lean into that or not, but you might want to tell people that more. And I feel since they kind of caught that, and I was kind of feeling that also. And I have been, but sometimes I just want to know, you guys deal with it a lot. You have a lot of people watching at times, and you have to kind of control the vibe and kind of the flow of what's coming in the chat. And how do you do that sometimes with trying to keep on track? If you have any tips or anything that you could help me with, because I want to get my point across, and I know eventually the people that are going to be with you are going to be with you, but I want to stay on track, and I want to get my point across that I feel is important, and not just give all the attention to people that are trying to grab attention.
Excellent question.
I love that.
By the way, first off, I want to compliment you on your setup. I like your setup a lot, but I want to talk about that, but I'll talk about your question first. So you're asking, how do we deal with so for example, during the chat, we get quite a few people commenting, some of them can be off topic. Some of them, I know I personally, as I go through these, I'm making a mental note of maybe questions I want to bring up, but I make sure that I also try not to deter the conversation. So for example, if we were talking right now, and let's just see if there's a chat in here. For example, there is a question here, and Nasser, who is backstage, has this question about, going live on 3 platforms. For example, I'm talking to you, and then what I would not do is bring his comment up and be like, oh, hey, Nasser's got this great comment about, this and this, because that doesn't actually relate to what you're talking about on screen or what Leticia and I could be talking about.
Right. So it's kind of being patient, and at first I noticed when I started doing, I was popping up too many of comments, and I was just trying to keep everyone engaged. And when you're new at it, you want to kind of give the attention to everyone who's there. And then I noticed as that goes on, and even though I may have 15 people watching or whatever, I end up having 550 comments. And so as those comments are coming through, I'm trying to be more selective on what I'm picking out, so that way the attention stays on the point. But yes. I do notice, you know, that there's when the funny comments or whatever, and they are funny, and I get it, but I want to bring the value and I want to get my point across. And I guess it's like me being so new at this too and trying to build a community. It's like you don't want to offend anybody in any way. And I love that they're there, and that's the people that are watching me are so important. But I also just want to stay on topic. And I guess it's like going to weed itself out, probably, I guess.
Yeah. Leticia, do you want to add something?
I mean, that happens to me too. Like I went live this morning and had a specific topic I was talking about, and people had a little bit of, people had off-topic questions, still geared towards my theme. But, you know, I do answer those questions, but I get right back to the topic. So this is why it's so important that throughout the broadcast, you reiterate the conversation, you reiterate the topic, and whichever question you get, you go right back to the topic at hand. But I know it could be much. It's a lot to manage the comments and talk. I do agree with Christian. You don't want to keep adding comments coming in on the screen. And here's why. Me personally, if I'm watching you live and you're talking, but I'm seeing all these comments pop up, it's too distracting. You know what I mean? So, for example, if I'm on live and I have 10 talking points, I will do the first 2 and then I'll go to the comments. I will do the next 2 and then I'll go to the comments. Like I do it like that. Like I leave little cues for myself to go into the comments so I can answer everyone's question and get them moving forward. So, yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like what you're saying is it's the more you do it, the more you understand the balance.
Right, it's like a muscle. Yeah, it's like a muscle. And I know I can get one of my VAs to pull up the comments, but and again, when I did that, that was distracting because I kept, even though obviously we have a run a show, right? But again, they could be pulling up something and I could just be in my thought. And with my mommy brain, having 5 children, I lose memory sometimes, you know? So I'm like, what was I talking about? So I just rather just do that part myself so I can have more control over it. Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's going to take some practice. I'll tell you this. It does take some practice. You know, but also going back to what Leticia said, having a run of show is also important. So for example, our process might be, for example, if you kind of look at how we structure the show, intro, we ask you a question, we send out an invite link. For example, our questions that we ask are usually, so we do prep. So for example, Leticia and I had a conversation before, not just like 5 minutes before, like early in the week, about what we were going to ask at the beginning of the live, you know, the direction we wanted to kind of take that. Right. And so kind of putting that in perspective, like, so then let's say there are comments that come in and they're technical comments. We may not answer those at all. For example, or we may have a section where like, okay, we sort of feel it out. Okay. Hey, you know what? It's a little bit dead. We're waiting for people to join. Let's answer some of those questions. Yeah. So I totally relate to that because when I first started out, it was like, I wasn't really fine tuning a specific comment. It was kind of like just getting on and doing tech talk so people could do whatever. But then what I wanted to start doing is like, I just wanted to bring up something that I thought would bring some value and help a lot of people that were new and only talk about it for 15 or 20 minutes and then go into all those questions. So I think it's like when you're not set, like you said, when you don't have a structure that everyone's following for weeks and you're just picking up. So that could be, I'm going to rein that in and have that structure every week. And that will probably make everything better. Okay, right. If you ever like if you've done live production, for example, like we go off of a run a show, right? Like everything is down to a science. It's the lower third that's going to bring up, you know, for example, for those who don't know what a lower third is, it's that section along the bottom of your live stream. It's like bringing up a comment. That essentially is like a lower third. Right. But it's when does that come up? For example, it's before that. What is the intro? For example, you know, making sure people do tech prep, things like that, because that's how things run smoothly. You know, and then there may be, for example, you could also just to make it easy on yourself, you could also just have a section at the end where all you're doing is answering Q&A. And so then that way it doesn't divert from your message. So everything is it's a recipe essentially. Yeah. The recipe
is exactly what you just said is what I'm kind of doing. I'm starting with the topic, doing it for like 15 or 20 minutes because I don't want to overdo it because then, you know, I feel like if there's interest, you can keep going, but if it's got to be a minimum of like 15 minutes or so. And then I just gauge off of what's going on. And then when I do the topic like this week, I just brought up a couple things, looked at the questions and got that balance because I noticed that before that, I was too engaged with just the topic and then you're losing what's going on in the chat. It's a lot of like what you just said. It's a lot of balance, like everything that you're doing while looking at the questions, people don't realize how much is going on. Like I see you guys looking, I know you're looking at everything that's going on while keeping engaged. It's a lot when you're doing it, you know?
It is. And well, to that point, by the way, I'll also say this. The other thing is your equipment setup, for example. So like, we don't like to say like, you know what, you need all this kind of equipment, but the one thing that does help is making sure you have the right equipment setup. So for example, if you're like, I'll give you an example. My laptop is right in front of me, but I have you see me looking off the side. It's because I have a monitor right here. And that's because, okay, my laptop screen is not as big as my monitor. So therefore, like I have to, you know, do this. Now at some point I need to like adjust that. That might be moving my monitor right in front of me, for example, having my laptop here. So like making sure that I'm making the right investment in my setup of my show.
Yep. I got 2 monitors now. Might go to a third to keep something separate also, just for the fact. I mean, this is what it looks like right now. This is like the setup now.
Here, let's do this actually.
Nice.
And
that is insane.
There we go.
This is my second build out on a studio that I've done. And this is actually new, just to have bullet notes.
No, it's good. No, this is very good. So I can tell. So a couple things I want to actually mention about your setup. You have a very good setup, by the way. So for starters, okay. So I want to talk about your lights real quick. So one thing he's done for lighting, he's got a window right there in the middle. That is the correct way to position your window. Because for example, if you put that behind you, your camera is then seeing all this light and it's going to be too washed out. So he's got the window in front of him, which is great. He's adding additional fill lights there on the side. And then it looks like you got a Rodecaster Pro on your desk as well, I think.
Yeah, I got a Rodecaster over here onto the right side.
And you got a switcher of sorts.
And then I have my A10 Mini, and then you can see my cameras right in front of me right there.
So in this case, like, by the way, there were people asking, what kind of camera are you using? Is that a Canon? Or
this camera is a EOS R with a 24-70 L lens. Yeah. And look, the only reason I have this stuff is this kind of stuff, because you absolutely don't need this, is that my wife was doing photography for years. Yeah. So we kind of rolled into this. It kind of just happened, and it got out of hand.
So I think part of it is this, like, so for example, for those of you watching, you don't need a setup like Coffee Talk and Tech has. It's a great, fantastic setup actually. But you don't need that. Every live streamer doesn't need that. You just need to start with, like, depending on what your show is, start small and then build on that. For example, I'm going to pull up Kem's comment here. She's saying, yes, it's a lot. Try adding painting or doing a craft on top of that. And here's the thing. So if you want to do something like what Coffee Talk and Tech is doing here, Kem, for example, you may want to have a top-down camera and then a second angle for another camera. And then she may need a switcher, for example, to make those adjustments.
And actually,
crafts.
This is with these old Visa mounts that I took off on the end, I can bolt on a ball head here or whatever I want. Like right here, I have a light and I usually light up my desktop, but I also can put the camera that's right here on this extension with a super clamp right on top. And now I can get an overhead of this. So I can make adjustments on all that. And just by making this happen, by having those attachments, but listen, I'm a tech channel and I'm a guy who likes tech. I've been building computers for 25 years. I work in the industry in sorts. So it's definitely something you don't need. The cameras are amazing today. Some of the cheap mics are amazing. We all know that.
Right.
So, so I want to take your question. You were showing how you had multiple cameras, by the way. Kem was asking, for example, about that second camera earlier. So for example, if she wanted to, I know she could go the route of sending the guest link to a mobile phone, and that could become a second camera. provided you plug in and turn off the audio. However, you can also do what Coffee Talk and Tech here is doing, and he's using what's called an ATEM Mini. But again, it expands your setup, but it's a more expensive setup as well.
And then a lot of people, right, they go through OBS and they come in, and OBS has a camera that you can pull right in and with an Android, and it works really well. And that's another way you can just really switch right to a camera. Yeah.
And so the thing I want to kind of impress upon Kim here is just the fact that, for example, if she's doing arts and crafts, she may, she has to first look at her budget and see, okay, I want to do a second camera. You're going to need 2 cameras. You're going to need a switcher of sorts to be able to push a button and make those adjustments. So you do need to look at the budget for something like that, because it does get to be a little bit costly. I mean, I think you need to look
addicting. Christian, it's addicting.
Yeah, I know.
That's right. Let me tell you, my cart is full on Amazon because of Christian.
This is, but no. So I hope that answers your questions in terms of your overall helping you stay focused during your stream.
Right.
Yeah. I figured you guys deal with this, and I know it's like a balance, but when you're new, you're new no matter what. You can know all the tech in the world, but learning how to transition everything that's in front of you, like production wise, is something that I've never done. So I appreciate you giving me some tips, and I appreciate that. Thank you so much for the kind words, people.
Anytime.
Do me a favor, Coffee Talk and Tech, email me marketing@streamyard.com. Just email me, send me a link to your show, and let's chat. Actually, let's schedule some time to chat.
Yeah, put your show in the chat, so we in the private chat, so I can follow you.
Yep.
Thank you, love.
Yes, you got it. Have a great day. Thank you so much for having me on.
Thanks, bye.
Anytime. Bye. All right.
He's got quite the setup, I gotta say.
He does.
I love that setup. Again, it's also one of those things where you want to make sure you're leveling up your live stream. So
and he was on here last time. I don't know if you remember. He didn't have those lights in the background. It was very bare. So he leveled it up since last time he was on. It was like maybe about 2-3 weeks ago, if I can remember. Yes.
Awesome. Fantastic. Yeah, and lots of love from our viewers and LTMW saying, nice setup, money well spent. Again, I mean, it's making the right investments versus, for example, starting out and saying, "Oh, I'm going to buy all this stuff." You don't need all this stuff to start out. If you don't have the audience, you don't have the community built. You're just throwing money away just because you have the tech. You could take that money and make a small investment in the audio, for example.
Right.
Making sure you've got the right computer for your live stream.
Your environment.
Right. Exactly. Your environment. Adding some lights. And then adding on the camera, for example, and then add a switcher for a second camera and so forth.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Leticia, let's go and bring on our next guest.
Yes. Let me just double check the list one more time. Okay. Yeah. Fighter is back.
Yeah. Let's give Fighter another chance.
All right. Let's give him another chance.
How are we doing, Don?
I apologize. My computer is actually updating right now, and I'm not at home at my actual studio.
Okay.
But my question is, I'm transitioning from a 17-year journalist background. Like I said earlier, I was with ABC, NBC, CBS. I did a show with Chris Matthews, and then I went on my own for several years. And I'm in the sports industry, and I'm a 2-time Hall of Fame photographer, and I interview all the fighters that I shoot. And so transitioning from syndicated radio to StreamYard, because everybody wants to put a face with a voice. And what I'm finding is on my fighter's voice page, I'm not getting the reactions or the views like I do when I put it on my personal page. I mean, my numbers aren't bad at all. It just depends on the guest. In my market, it depends on the guest that you bring on the show. What would you suggest as far as transitioning from 1.3 to 2.3 million listeners from a syndicated show to now? It kind of is hard on me because I'm basically starting from scratch. So what type of advice would you give somebody that is coming from the old school style of radio into the new era of StreamYard?
By the way, what's your channel? And it's a YouTube channel, right?
No, actually, StreamYard won't let me connect to YouTube. Every time I do, it says I need to download I mean, I have to, what I do is upload this. What I started doing was uploading a couple of shows after, because every time I try to set the destination as YouTube, it's telling me I need to update Chrome, which I've done multiple times. And see, I'm going from an old mixer board to utilizing the StreamYard platform, which has been kind of hard for me because I'm old school. I'm 57 years old. I was taught the old way. I know the old way. And that's why I'm on here, because I want to know the new way. And you guys are very eloquent and articulate in specifying how to do things. But I mean, I'll be honest with you. I don't put a ticker. I don't put up pictures. Because if I can't bring it to you real and raw, then I'm not going to bring it to you at all. And that is, my show is probably one of the most real shows on the market. And that's what's getting me the numbers that I'm getting. I had Matt Hughes, a legend in UFC, probably one of the greatest fighters. I've had Pat Miletich. I mean, the list goes on and on, but I also do music. I've had Bone Thugs and Harmony. I've had the Saint Lunatics, and I've also had the Foo Fighters. And I killed it on the syndicated side, but I'm finding a hard time growing my audience to the numbers through the video aspect. What would you recommend on building my numbers up to what my syndicated numbers were? I know I'm going to have those loyal diehard fans that follow me everywhere, but I want to be able to create an aspect through StreamYard because I'm really loving it. I mean, to be quite honest with you, I'm really loving it. Unlike, just like the last guy that was on, I went out and I spent a crap ton of money and put it in my studio, which is downtown with Clear Channel. And I realized that my show is only as good as my guest connection. And so that has been the major downfall for my show. If you go on my regular Facebook page, I post my shows there too, because I'm getting more of an audience on my regular Facebook page than I am on my business page. But you'll see a lot of times the guests will freeze, but the audio still continues. I'll continue the show that way because my loyal guests say, you're going to have technical difficulties on a live stream, and that's what makes the show special because it's real. Because I won't pre-record anything and then place it out for people to view it. But how do you converge a 17-year career into a video platform?
So I'll say this: the first problem I would solve here is your YouTube connection. So we got to get that YouTube channel working. The reason I say that is because I actually think if you broadcast these videos out to YouTube, I think you're going to get a greater reach there. You mentioned quite a few number of notable people and bands and fighters and whatnot. And so I think that you should try and leverage the interest in that audience to get them over to your videos. Now, in terms of getting that fixed, I would recommend, first thing is StreamYard. Go to StreamYard.com/contact and talk to our support team. They can help you figure out what that specific issue is, just to make sure you get your YouTube channel fixed. You got to get that absolutely fixed first. Stop beating your head against the wall on that, right? Like, let's get that fixed. Let's get it working. Then that way we can start streaming out to those channels. Second thing is the fact that, you've got quite a career in this. For example, I don't know if you guys have seen, we have a guy who comes on and does videos sometimes, Kevin Colby. He actually used to be, he was a radio personality. So for him, it was as simple as he turned the camera on, essentially. That was really the only difference. He was already into the audio piece. So I see the same similarities there with you as well. You've got the audience, you've got the guest. We got to get the video fixed. We just need to make a few tweaks to the videos. Very likely, probably making sure the title, the description, the tags are optimized towards those individuals you're trying to obviously leverage. And then I actually think you're going to and then just make sure you have prompts during your show. If you're going to stream, for example, to YouTube, make sure you're streaming to telling people hey, you know what, if you like this video, make sure you like us and give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel to help get your numbers up. A lot of people don't ask for the subscribe. And so that's, I think, is going to be really valuable to help you. Leticia, is there anything you want to add here?
I would have to say definitely time has to be your friend. I mean, I know that's hard because like you came from a syndicated platform and now sort of doing it on your own. I would also recommend of maybe having some segments on your channel where it's just you and you're giving value that is just from you, because when you're having channels that's based upon the guest, like you said, the value comes from the guest, not necessarily from you. So I would definitely pull in more, because on my channel I have a show that I do with the guests, and for the most part it's just me, because I don't want my channel just to be about the guests and stuff. So definitely time needs to be your friend, and getting on YouTube will get you out to a more broader audience.
Well, see, that's what's made me successful. My show is called The Fighter's Voice with Don McGuire. It isn't my voice; it's the fighter's voice.
Right.
See, what in my market, what the major problem has been is you've got 100,000 shows out there that are doing the same thing, asking the same questions.
Mm-hmm.
So several years back, I had to come up with an idea, because my numbers were starting to stagnate, and it was starting to just level off, and I'm not happy with leveling off. I'm a perfectionist in everything that I do.
Right.
So I realized I had to bring a show that was real. I had to show a side of the fighter, that nobody couldn't find on Wikipedia, Tapology, or in a video, and that's where I correlated. But the major issue that I'm trying to figure out with StreamYard, okay, I'll put it on the Fighter's Voice with On the Wire. I might get 5, 6, 7 likes on my business page. I put it on my personal page, which has 5,000 friends and just about 5,000 followers. It blows up. It just extremely blows up.
Okay.
And so, but the thing of it is, all the comments come together on one show, but the likes aren't correlated together. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. So basically, here's the thing. So part of the problem is Facebook.
Yeah.
Facebook.
That's not a StreamYard issue.
Yeah, it's not.
No, that's why I'm asking you guys.
Yeah,
so this is 100% a Facebook issue. So Facebook has this thing where, and for starters, you have a profile you create for yourself. They want you to do that, and then they want you to create your pages, your groups, anything like that underneath it. Now, anything that is business related should go on your page. Now, what they do though is they reduce the organic reach, meaning when you post something on that page, if you have 1,000 fans, they're not all going to see it.
Right,
the only way they see it is based off of the algorithm, and the algorithm that they don't tell you obviously what's the formula. But for example, if I'm not engaging with your content, it doesn't matter if I'm one of your 1,000 fans, I'm not going to necessarily see it. And then you're going to have to work once I don't see it to get me back. How are you going to have to work? You're going to have to pay for ads and things like that. Now, why does it work on a profile? Because your profile are personal connections. And so, it's got a totally different algorithm, the way that it works as well. So those people who are already engaging with you on your profile are going to then see more of your content, for example. So that's why you're not seeing the same numbers from a page and a profile. They want you to use your page. They want you to advertise, because that's how Facebook makes money.
That's right. Pay for play.
You do have to keep that in mind. So that's why I'm strongly encouraging you to do the YouTube side, because YouTube's not going to they're not going to, they have everybody has an algorithm, but their algorithm is not going to be it's not as harsh as the Facebook one is.
Right.
And then NLTMW makes a really good point, by the way, about getting the bridge to your YouTube channel fixed, because that's going to be where your audience is going to grow. I think, the Facebook page, great, but I think you're going to get more people going to YouTube looking for video content, for example, and looking to learn more about the different fighters you have on and so forth.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
I have one more thing.
Can I add one more thing before I go?
Yeah,
See, and I want people to realize this, because StreamYard is tremendous in this aspect. When I first came over, now realize I've only been on StreamYard for maybe 3-4 months now. And so it was hard for me to transition. I do my best work in the shadows behind a mic, but putting my face on there was something that I wasn't very comfortable with. But I'm averaging 3,000 to 5,000 views per 30 to 45 minute show. And so it's slowly growing. But one thing I did like that you guys did state, and I want people to understand this, that you guys are giving them the best advice you possibly can.
Right.
You have to look at the time segmentation, and people don't realize, they think, oh, well, we only have 3 or 4 different time zones. No, there's actually 5 or 6 different time zones.
Right.
So what I had to realize in the syndicated world was, what was the best day? What was the best time that I'm going to capture all the audiences across the country. You look
Right.
at Hawaii. I'm in the Midwest right now, so you look at Hawaii. They're 6 hours, 5, 6 hours behind me. The UK is 5, 6 hours ahead of me. Ireland, 7 hours ahead of me. And then I got the East Coast. So I realized that 8 o'clock Central was the best time for me to do a show, because it's 9 o'clock on the East Coast and they're just now sitting down to relax and enjoy. It's 6 o'clock on the West Coast. It's 4 o'clock in Hawaii. So what you guys are giving people the advice on really utilizing that time aspect to get the best out of your show, it's truly key, because that's what made my syndicated show. And now it's making my StreamYard show grow that much more.
Wow.
I just have to figure out the specs on how to getting that to YouTube. And I think you guys are right. Once I get to YouTube, I think I'll get my audience back.
Right.
I do like the platform, but people need to realize that, like I said in the beginning, you guys people can't blame you guys for everything, because I was like everybody else. I was like the guy that you just had on. I went out and spent thousands of dollars because I wanted to do this right. But I realized my show is only as good as my guest connection.
And Adam, by the way, Adam did make a good point for you. He said, like, for example, if you're seeing issues on your end, so like if you're going to make any other investment, again, it's one of the first investments I'd make, internet. So like your upload speed is the most important part. It's the most important speed that you need for your internet. So, you know, your download speed is always going to be fast, but if you're broadcasting, your upload speed, you need that because you're pushing your signal up to the internet. So I try to get.
I do my show from Clear Channel. I log into StreamYard from a Clear Channel station. I'm actually, I don't do it at home, and then I have a private station down the street. Yeah, well, I mean, I've been in the business for a long time, so it's like I have opportunities that others don't have. But see, we don't all know it all, you know, and that's why I love your guys' little programs here, because you take a guy like me that, you know, like I said, I average on syndicated 1.3 to 2.5 million listeners a show worldwide. I got people listening to my show in Nepal, you know, so it's kind of crazy. But I just want to get my StreamYard show because I think it's better for the audience. It's better for the guests. And what you guys do with the tutorials is totally, I mean, it's a step above. And it's going to keep me with StreamYard, because it not just shows that you're trying to sell a platform. It shows that you're dedicated to the platform. You're dedicated to your users, and you're trying to help us understand as we go. And that's one of the main reasons why I wanted to come on here today, was get a couple of my questions answered, but also at the same time, give you guys a respect, because you're taking time to explain to us when you already have our money. So most companies won't do that.
Nope.
But you are. So I truly appreciate you giving me the time, the opportunity to get some of my thoughts out. You guys are tremendous. I love StreamYard. I've tried other streaming apps. They can keep them. I love what you guys bring, the ease. People don't realize when you have a syndicated show, I have to embed and blog, create the link. And you're looking at, if you don't know how to do it, you're looking at 3 to 4 hours just to create one show. After 17 years, I got it down to about 45 minutes. On StreamYard, from start to finish, I could have a show done in 5 minutes. And upload it. And like the advice you gave to that gentleman earlier, he really needs to make his title of a show pop. That's the main thing, because
I was going to mention that.
You really have to, because you got to let them know who's on and what that episode is about, because every episode is going to vary. But the thing that I'm finding that is helping me is tagging people and utilizing the aspect that StreamYard gives you to tag people in the variances of your shows, and it brings and engages their audience. I don't want to take any more of your time. I'll come back in about a month or two and let you guys know how to do this. But I'm going to watch the tutorial again. I've got a friend down in Texas he's on StreamYard. He brought me to you guys. He's trying to figure out the YouTube variant. I've done everything. I've done the dashboard. I've allowed it. It just keeps saying I need to upgrade. And I mean, I'm in a top of line studio. I'm in a $20 million studio, and I'm still having issues with a brand new PC that is made for video aspects. So
so
I think go ahead.
I was gonna say, so for something like that, yeah, contact the StreamYard.com. Go to StreamYard.com/contact.
Yeah.
Talk with our chat, our support. I guarantee you, it's probably something to do with Google Chrome. There's probably something that's either cached. They have all sorts of tricks that they know of. I mean, they hear pretty much every single issue that people, get in terms of like getting a channel connected. So I'd start there, and I guarantee you they can pretty much help.
All right.
By the way,
Thank you so much, because I went from $26,000 a year in studio cost down to your professional package, and my wife's kind of happy with me that on that level, because
I know
I don't have to have as many sponsors to keep the show going, but
right.
I mean, people need to realize that radio is going out, and this is the future, and you guys are the forefront of the future. And I just really want to say thank you for allowing us to have this opportunity to have such a tremendous platform. We're all learning, and we're all going to grow together. And like I said, you guys doing these tutorials is the most tremendous thing that anybody's ever done. I mean, it's true customer service from StreamYard, and I thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for coming on.
Don, by the way, do me a favor before we drop you off. Just go to email me marketing@streamyard.com. Send me a link to your Facebook page, and then also just tell me a little more about that YouTube issue you're having.
Okay.
Because we definitely want to see how we can help. So that would help me be able to get it to support as well. So thank you.
All right, I appreciate that, Chris.
You're welcome.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, let me see if there's any questions here real quick. Lots of good feedback here.
Yes, it is.
From Cherie. I also like this comment from NLTMW. Remember the time of year and the world situation. People are heading more outside this year. Adjust your stream time slot to when your audience is most likely to be ready to watch. Yes.
Right.
Look at your analytics.
That is true.
Look at
that is true.
For example, if you're going to YouTube, look at your YouTube analytics and see when the best time to be posting is. Like, what patterns do you see for your live streams?
That's so true.
And again, it's also, and here's the thing, Redline says, when we do lives at 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I think it's decent. Don't go past 90 minutes per broadcast. Here's the thing, 90 minutes doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's 90 minutes, 60 minutes, 30 minutes. It needs to be as long as you need to make it, but you need to make sure you're providing the best value you possibly can, but you also have to make sure you're promoting the stream as well. So don't just expect, I'm going to go live at 8 or 9 o'clock and I'm going to automatically get in front of an audience. It's like having a restaurant, for example, in a shopping mall. So people go into that shopping mall and it's all about where your location is. So for example, if I go into the part of the mall where nobody ever visits and you got the greatest restaurant there, nobody's going to know about it. So you have to make sure you're doing things to promote yourself, to get the word out and let people know, hey, you know what? You need to come over to this. You need to come check my live stream out. So
that's right. And network with other channels. Like if you are watching a channel, that's what I'm doing this month. I'm reaching out to other channels and say, hey, I would love to do a collab with you or something like that, and see how it just expand. Be creative, guys. Just be creative. Yeah.
Okay. So let's go and bring on, who's our next guest, Leticia?
Nazir is up next. So I'm going to bring him on now. Hello, Nazir. Thank you for your patience.
Hello. How are you?
Good. How
Great.
are you?
What's your question?
Yes, I am from Pakistan. I am a very old user of StreamYard. So it is a great honor for me. I will talk with the StreamYard team. So my question is that can I go live with on platform with Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at the same time?
Good question.
Can I go live?
So you can go live to Facebook. So we've got Facebook pages, profiles, groups, YouTube, yes, LinkedIn, yes, Periscope, yes, Twitch as well. Instagram, though, you can't go live to Instagram in the platform. That's because Instagram actually does not allow it. Instagram, there are ways, but we don't actually support those, we don't advise using the workarounds that are available. The reason is because Instagram has an API. They have a policy where they only allow you to use certain features of their platform. There's a lot of people that are doing workarounds, and those workarounds can get your account banned. Even if you just connect using their app, to connect to Instagram, they also can get you banned there. So we don't ever advise it because that would mean like you could basically get kicked off forever on Instagram just because you tried to take a chance on that. It's a big chance you take. So Instagram does not allow anyone outside of their app to actually go live. So anyone who's actually doing it through another program is actually potentially violating their API feature, even like other tools, for example, that are out there.
So can I go live on two? I mean, at the same time on Facebook and YouTube? Can I go live same time?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and that's like it's super easy. Do you know how to do that?
Is it free? Is it free service or paid service?
You should be able to go live on a couple of different destinations, and I think it's free. Actually, let me just double check. So if you're on the free plan, yeah, go ahead.
Actually, last time I went to live on YouTube and Facebook, but I can't go live at same time on two YouTube and Facebook. So
yeah, so you need the basic plan. Yeah. The StreamYard basic plan.
Okay, it means you means only if I follow free plan. So I can go live only on one, I mean, YouTube or Facebook.
Right. Right. So if you need to go live, if you want to multi-stream to other destinations, you'd want to use the basic plan, which is
okay. Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
In one message, sure. I strongly recommend to all people. StreamYard is very easy and very useful.
Thank you very much. We really appreciate that.
I
love hearing from you. And I'll make a note as well about your Instagram Live feature request. So thank you.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Take care.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye. Yes.
Okay.
Good question.
So let's see if there's any, do want to bring up one other point from Darren here. You know, if Facebook, if their Facebook property bans you, they do ban you from everything, Facebook, Oculus, WhatsApp, all of it. So that is one thing you do have to keep in mind. You know, it's like there are ways to get, like we get people asking all the time about Instagram. Again, it's an Instagram thing. Instagram was designed to be used from mobile.
Right.
There's a lot of features that they do not have on desktop, or they don't allow outside of their app. They also want to control that and keep you in their app. So, you know, you have to play by their rules, unfortunately. And now that it's a Facebook company, it means you have to play by all of the rules.
Right. You have to. You have to do that. Yeah. And again, if you're doing, since, you know, StreamYard allows us to download the show, you can upload it onto Instagram. Like I did that to my live this morning. Upload it on my Instagram as an IGTV. And then when people go on my profile, they actually see it featured. Yeah. So that's another workaround if you want ethical workaround. Yeah.
So that is that's a very good point, actually, Leticia. So, you know, for example, here, let me show you guys this real quick. Let's see.
Yeah, sure.
So if you go into your StreamYard dashboard, for example, and I'm going to go to past broadcast. So let's say I finished this live stream yesterday and I want to now, like, I want to put this up on Instagram. I'm going to go to the 3-dot option and do the download recording option. And then in this case, I might just want the finished video. I'm going to use the video recording. I'm going to download that. And then what I can do is I can run it in my favorite video editor. For example, I could put it, if I'm on a Mac, I could put it in iMovie. For example, I can do the, vertical orientation. I can make the edit for Instagram, and then I could upload it to Instagram directly if I wanted to.
Right. And people do watch it. Trust me, they do watch it on IGTV.
Yeah. So that's something to keep in mind. Again, I mean, it's a bit of an extra step, but that's because, again, Instagram doesn't support going live outside of their app. So, okay, we got one more guest. We're going to bring on Leticia.
Yes, I'm going to bring him on.
Are you ready to come on? Awesome. Okay, so Shalise, thanks a lot for joining us. How you doing?
Thank you so much for having me. Thanks
for your patience, by the way.
Oh, always. Since last 3 weeks, I'm constantly and continuously watching all the tutorials and all live of great StreamYard. It's great.
Awesome.
So what can we help you with?
As a host and producer, I started Sampreshan. That means this is the Nepali word. I'm originally from Nepal. almost 20 years in the US. And recently I'm in the Canada, Ontario now. It's my second small studio right here. Okay. And technically, I'm very poor. So normally, I started the Sampraisan as a one-in-one traditional talk show, television talk show. But in this age, I couldn't continue the talk show. So I'm transitioning towards the very kind of live show in the Facebook. So last time I did one show through the StreamYard, but with technical support of one of my friend. He lives in Connecticut, USA. But now I need to run my show myself independently. So I need your suggestion. How may I go continuously? Now I do only the Facebook Live. So as I listen you guys, the YouTube would be the another great thing to do together. So what is your suggestion? As I've been working 8+ years as a host and a producer of Sampraisan, I have YouTube channel in my name. 80+ episodes is already uploaded. That's me. I need your help. How may I grow a little bigger and faster in this age?
So what's the channel? Can I pull the channel up actually?
Yeah, I have given you there. Yeah.
Is it in the private chat? Let's see. Okay, I got it. Cool. Let me just pull that up. Is it on Facebook or YouTube or both? Or?
YouTube.
Okay, let me see. There. No, let's see. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Okay, let me pull this up. Okay, Leticia, do you have any questions?
How long have you been doing the show? I'm sorry, I missed that part.
I started Sampraisan last 8 years continuously. It was weekly one-in-one television traditional show. Okay. Then I transitioned toward the community interactive town hall session based on the burning social issues of our immigrants related issue, immigration, temporary protected status, and that benefits the marginalized community and our people. Right. So focusing, as I was working in the New York as a doing in the legislative advocacy and various bills in City Hall, New York, Albany, and the Capitol Hill, few bills as well.
Okay, so now let's see your channel.
Right.
Yeah, let's take a look at your channel real quick.
Thank you so much.
Okay,
you're welcome.
Sure. Okay, so we'll talk about your lives. Okay, so you've got 80 videos, you said, I think, right? Let's see. Okay, so I think the first thing and again, I mean, these aren't like, it's not major, but I think one thing I would try to do is every video should have a thumbnail. I do like these, I do like this second thumbnail, for example.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that too.
It stands out. For example, I'd say build a template. So if all your shows are following the same structure, build a template that's going to help you.
Okay.
Let's see. So you've been going on. Let's see.
I do like that second video template because the title is like big. It's like straightforward, and you see the guest. I like the background color, that royal blue. That's really nice.
Well, that's the secret of success. That story of one guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So another question I have. So like you've been doing all these other videos, and then all of a sudden you did one video 2 years ago, one 6 months ago, and one week ago. What happened? Right. What happened with all the other videos?
Did so many community interactive town hall session, but because I do not have technical support and my team is kind of dismissed. One of my friends is in Texas, one is in Oklahoma, so I couldn't upload it. So many other episodes I did as a community interactive town hall session in New York and New Jersey.
Yeah, you got to get those uploaded. Yeah, it's too much of a gap. Like these are huge bulldozer gaps.
Like here's the thing, you had really good numbers. You had a few hundred, you had 2,100, you had 600, 700. Your numbers were good. You had 3,700, and then you disappeared for 2 years basically. And it's one of, and I say it like just, you when you disappeared, then you potentially lost what was
the momentum
keeping you motivated, keeping you going there. Mm-hmm. So now you have to build it back up. So you had 3,700 views and then you disappeared, and now you got 62 and you got 13.
Right.
So one of them is going to be getting back into the habit of sharing, like make it like, so for example, if you're pressed for time, let's start small. Mm-hmm. One video a month, for example. Mm-hmm. Every single, and really, if you stream directly to YouTube from StreamYard, for example, that's going to save you some time. You're not going to have to download the video and re-upload it. So stream it directly to YouTube. That's going to start to get you content out there. The other thing, set up a process for your thumbnails so that, you know, every week, all you have to do is change out maybe the title and the person that's in the video so that your videos start to get a certain, like they become thematic.
Okay. Right.
Or sorry, templatized. So then that way there's always going to be a template that you work off of. That's going to save you more time as well for your thumbnails. For creating those thumbnails, you know, if you have access to like a tool like Canva or Easel, you can create those thumbnails very quickly. Set up that template in that product, and then each week just drop the photo in, replace, drop the other one in, replace, and you'll have your image ready to go for your live stream, and make it part of your process. So when you're scheduling your live stream, put your thumbnail with your live stream. That way it's going to show up on the platform. Anything else you want to advise on that, Leticia?
Well, now you're like in reset mode right now. I mean, it's hard to really gauge off of new data because you haven't uploaded anything in such large period of time. So I would say get those videos uploaded and start to rebuild up that momentum. And then from there, go back into your analytics and see where you're at.
Another tip I'd also give you, I've got your video pulled up as well here. So for example, if it were me, I'd try to, while I'm designing that thumbnail, I'd put in some sort of background that's going to go over behind everything.
Right.
Just so this pops a little bit more. I like the fact that you're both wearing suits. You're both.
Yes, I was going to say that.
Yeah. That was a huge. So the Development Fund Nepal is non-resident Nepali has just established almost $200 million project back in Nepal. So I was so fortunate to talk with this CEO of that company, but I couldn't do the right way, as you have been suggesting me, you know, the thumbnail and the other thingy. Simply, it was the live telecast through the StreamYard. Then I uploaded, I think 2 weeks back. That is how it is.
So part of it also would be if you're live streaming this, I mean, granted, you know, you don't have to do any editing on it. You're going to able to, so you're not going to have to do any editing. That's going to save you some time. So if you're live streaming and multi-streaming out to like Facebook and YouTube, for example, your videos are going to go out to YouTube. You're going to have the thumbnail associated with it, the title, the description, that's already going to be done. The only other thing it looks to me like you'd have to do would be maybe add a couple of tags. So for example, put in these individual names here. Put in Nepal Development Fund, for example, put in Nepal, put in Nepal News, maybe, and things like that. And that'll actually potentially help YouTube understand your video and surface your videos a little bit more as well.
Tagging, right? So I have to tag those names.
And then, so I think doing that, and then the other thing, I mean, again, it comes back to promotion as well. So just because you schedule the stream, you then also have to have something that sends it out to like other people. So for example, maybe you're building an email list. I don't know if you've looked at that. If you're building an email list, you know, you could put this as, once you've scheduled it in StreamYard, you get a link, it'll pop up on your YouTube channel, for example. And you could then, if you have an email list, you could send out to your email list and let them know, hey guys, you know, we're going to be going live on whatever the time is. We're going to be talking about the following topic with whoever the person is, and then send them a link to that episode. That will get them to then potentially want to tune in. And you're going to have to just work at doing more of that.
And your guests should also be sharing that information out as well.
In the same time. I'm very active in Facebook. I have already 5,000 friends and followers, and I have Facebook page for Sampression. That's a 3,000 plus followers. So there are so many tools, but I don't know how to play in the rightfully. I mean, how the smart way.
Well, you gotta get those videos uploaded again. You have to.
Upload the videos, and then also just pay attention when you're going live. So if you're going to use StreamYard and multi-stream to Facebook, your Facebook page and your YouTube channel, look at your numbers and see, okay, where are people at? Where are they tuning in from? Because again, you're doing this all from the dashboard. Where are they tuning in from? And once they're tuning in, use that as you're doing more of these streams. Look at your numbers and say, okay, if most people if I'm not getting anyone tuning in from Facebook, everybody's tuning on YouTube, I need to probably lean towards the YouTube angle.
Right.
And then do those things that we said earlier, the thumbnail, putting in a different background. But again, making sure you're doing the big things, which are promoting it out to people, meaning if you got an email list, you got a WhatsApp group, for example, even as well, setting up that group. And then maybe every time your stream is about to start, send out a link to that broadcast and let
As
them
a
know.
reminder.
Yes.
Okay.
And I don't mean send it out like 5 minutes before or 30 minutes before. Send out like, you know, for example, on Facebook, you can schedule up to a week in advance. So get in the habit of every single week scheduling out your second show. For example, your third show, the fourth, shortly after your episode.
I do through the Facebook every time when I'm in the live and one day ahead and the poster again, banner again. And I used to come the live again. Oh, I'm coming after an hour kind of situation. I'm very actively working through the Facebook, but I haven't done anything through the YouTube channel. So you guys are suggesting, so it is better to go right at the both together. So I don't need to do again.
Yeah. So again, you do have to promote, you have to tell your audience. And if you don't have the audience, you need to start building up that audience. And that could be networking with other people. It could be building up that email list. But you're going to have to do things in addition to just going live.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, you could do a show and then also have a simple opt-in page. And while people are watching the show, you can say, hey, guys, go to yada.com, get on my list. So when I go live next or when I upload a video on this channel next, you'll get notified about it.
I have a last question regarding cross-posting option. We did there was a facility, an option in the Facebook that cross-posting. If some person doing in my Facebook, so I can have so many other pages so they can help me
you got to get permission from them. Yeah, that's something that, like I said earlier, if you're going to network and collab with people, that's something that y'all do, you know, with each other, right, Christian?
And Facebook does have a cross-posting feature for pages built in, but I will tell you it's been broken for a while. Like we're talking well over a year. So it's some people they get to work, some people don't.
It doesn't.
So I would say this. I don't think last time I checked it wasn't working.
Yeah, it was not. Yeah.
What I
would
do
still not working.
In place of that, very simple. Here's how I work things. So for example, if you're going to have somebody come on as your interview, like let's say I was interviewing you, I'd schedule out the broadcast and send you the link and say, hey, thanks a lot for joining. Here's the link for you to join. Here's the link if you have an email list. We'd love it to have you send it out to your list or share it on your social media channels and encourage those people to do it. You can't make them do it, unfortunately, but you can ask. That's the only thing you can do there. So
right.
Network, build goodwill with people. And then that should hopefully help get them to help promote the show for you.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. Leticia, Christian, thank you so much. All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Take care.
We had some great guests on today.
We did. I always love hearing from everybody. Like just so many great guests and just like all the great questions you all bring. And I love learning about your channels as well. That's why I asked a lot of you to send me an email, marketing@streamyard.com, because I want to see what your shows are about. I want to, I may have questions for you, for example, or I may have, if I have a few minutes, I may also, I've been known to just reach out and like just have a chat with somebody. For example, people have said, hey, I had trouble getting guests on, and I sat down and chatted with them,
That's right. And I like to subscribe to y'all's channels. Like I watch Dimebag all the time, Michael Daniels, several of you guys on here. I'm already subscribers to your channel. So I'm always NLTMW. Yes. I'm already watching you guys stuff.
We're going to wrap things up here this week, but what
we're
going to do is we're going to give away, what are we giving away? A mug, right, Leticia?
We're giving away a mug today. Who wants a mug?
And if you want to win this mug, very simple, just put in hashtag love StreamYard if you haven't done this yet.
I'm going to put mine in so I can win another one.
So yeah, let's, and by the way, we got lots of good comments here. I'll bring those up after the giveaway, but put in hashtag love StreamYard. You'll get a chance to win a StreamYard mug.
Winner, chicken dinner.
And again, here's the thing. If you've not entered to win one, just put in love StreamYard in, you'll have a chance to win a mug. If you've won one already, it's a great mug, by the way. You can put so much in it. I mean,
so much.
You can put oatmeal in it. You can put like coffee, tea.
Soup.
I mean, exactly. I mean, it seriously is a big mug.
Candy. Yes. I go there at Cold Stone. I'm like, can I just put my ice cream in the mug?
Exactly. It's like a bowl practically. I mean, in the meantime, by the way, I want to just give you all just a couple of quick notes here before we run the actual giveaway. Next week, YouTube channel reviews. We do that once a month. Daniel Batal, Dean Emin, June 12th, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's next Saturday. So instead of us, you're going to get Daniel and D at this time. The next show we're going to have for live stream reviews is going to be on the 19th.
19th, yes.
So in 2 weeks. So what I would suggest is next Saturday, go tune in to Daniel and Dee. If you got a YouTube channel,
please do.
Get them to review your channel. They'll take a look at it. They're going to look at like what their first impressions are, the banners that are going to show up. You know, they'll check out the description of the channel. You know what their first impressions of the video or of the channel is. For example, they might ask people like, you know, for example, if you said, "Hey, I'm into sports," and I talk about baseball, basketball, football, and soccer, they might look at your channel art and say, well, you know what, it doesn't really tell me that. Doesn't even say anything about sports, for example, or things like that. So go there, check out that. It's a great review that they do. So I'd encourage everyone going there.
Right. Right. And where they need to go once they win, they should send an email to where? If they win the giveaway?
Once you win. So if you do win the giveaway today, very simple. Let me just find that real quick. You'll just email marketing@streamyard.com. Just let us know, hey, I entered the live stream reviews giveaway and I won the mug this week. So marketing@streamyard.com for the winner. Now, what I want to do is let's just see. I'll give you guys
guys, if you're waiting, guys, it's the post. So we're sending it out to you guys. Just know that we have to adhere to the shipping regulations of the post office or FedEx, however it gets sent out.
By the way, just one quick thing before I bring up the giveaway tool. Albert here was asking, Albert, if you're still waiting for something, just do me a favor, email marketing@streamyard.com and let me know which episode that was on. And then we can get that sent out to you. With that, I'm going to bring up the giveaway tool, by the way.
Yay!
So this is the giveaway tool. Again, StreamYard.com/giveaway. And we're going to draw a winner. So you ready to go, Leticia?
I'm ready. Hit it.
Okay, very cool. So we're going to hit draw. Let's see who's going to win.
Excited.
And by the way, a couple of cool little things about this giveaway tool is that it uses the brand colors, for example, in your StreamYard dashboard. So, for example, we have this yellow color as our brand color. I want to say congrats, Tintin.
It's the Resurrection, Tintin Resurrection. Awesome.
Give us a favor, email marketing@streamyard.com. Same thing, SK's Crappy Catchin' Adventures. Just again, the email's marketing@streamyard.com. Just send us an email.
Right.
But Tintin, you're our winner today for a StreamYard mug. Again, you're winning one of these. Awesome.
Yay!
Very cool. So that's the giveaway tool, by the way. This is episode 19 of live stream reviews. I don't have anything else to add. Leticia, how about you?
I'm good. Thank y'all for coming. Make sure y'all tune in next week and the week after that and the week after that.
Definitely. Lots of congratulations for Tintin here.
Tintin.
Craig, by the way, if you do want to join us on the 19th, actually, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join us, and we're more than happy to bring you on. But with that, I want to thank everybody for watching, and I hope everybody has a fantastic weekend. We will see you all in 2 weeks, actually, the 19th, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Live stream reviews. Thanks a lot, everyone. Bye.
Be safe.